Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel. I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to your reading. So right away I can see that with the Hermit and the Ace of Swords here, you definitely are in the Hermit mode where you kind of are isolating yourself, and during that process you're finding that mental clarity that you've kind of been looking for. You've been searching for certain answers, and it's finally coming to you because you are, putting in the work in healing yourself, and you're doing it alone. I see that there's a skull on this card here. I don't know if you could see that, but to me that kind of represents perhaps putting a certain situation in the past. You might have been dealing with someone that could have been toxic, and you weren't quite sure on how to either get over that person or just simply deal with them. They didn't really give you much in return, so it was a little difficult for you to deal with that person. So I feel like now that you're able to put that person in the past and kind of move along with your life, you're starting to, reap the benefits of having to deal with that certain toxic situation. With the Empress here, usually I take the middle cards as your present moment. And Empress is Taurus energy, which is you. And with this Five of Swords here, you kind of feel exhausted from the situation. And the Three of Swords is about either like traveling or, you're kind of contemplating. And I feel from you are since I said you were in that hermit mode, you kind of are secluding yourself, and you're starting to realize what works best for you, or who should you cut out of your life. And you're finally at that point that you've been wanting to be at, and you've been dealing with this toxic person for a while now. With this Knight of Wands here, I feel like that's your energy, and this Knight of Cups, where you're ready to stand in your power and you're ready to move forward. With the Knight of Wands, I get a lot of passion. You could be dealing with a fire sign, or you can have fire in your chart. But I do see it with this Three of Pentacles here. You are dealing with someone either within a friend group or within work. And you kind of are hopeful in this situation. Perhaps it's maybe you are trying to get a promotion at work, or it could be someone that you're interested in, but they could be in a relationship. So you kind of are in that star card energy where you are hopeful that maybe perhaps this person can notice you. But right now, I feel like you are taking the steps to be in your Empress mode, and perhaps just working on yourself before you start that new relationship with that person. And it doesn't have to be that you want to be committed to them exactly. It could just be that you want to get closer to them. Or I kind of feel, or I kind of hear that it's about getting to know them more, because I feel like that situation is new. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck here. You have the King of Cups. So you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But that could actually just be that you are simply just in your feelings. When it comes to your own growth, I feel. Because since this past situation was so toxic, it had you go deep within yourself and finding that mental clarity on what it is that you need to do in order to propel your life forward. And that's what I was feeling with this Nine of Wands here. Queen of Pentacles, I believe that is also Taurus energy, but I feel like this is you. That, like I said, you're contemplating on what it is that you need to do in your life in order to have this Ten of Pentacles and to be in your Empress mode. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles is ultimately your goal, and it's something that you want for yourself. But I do see that since you were dealing with these toxic people or this toxic person, you are the wounded warrior here, and you're exhausted. Like, you're not only exhausted from physically, you're exhausted mentally as well. But with this Ace of Swords here, I'm telling you that you are finding that mental clarity within yourself. I see that you are juggling a couple of ideas when it comes to your life. Whether that be, hoping to start this new relationship with this new person, or whether to just work on yourself and be in this Empress mode. So you kind of, what I feel from this Two of Pentacles is you thinking about, gaining your independence and sticking to it. And also you are thinking of, should I start a relationship? Because I only feel like I'm getting older. So those two things are kind of conflicting because you're not quite sure exactly what it is you want to focus on, whether it is about your independence or, starting anew in a relationship. So that's kind of hard for you. That's what you're juggling right now. With the Three of Cups here, you definitely could be dealing with someone that is either like in a third party or, in a friend group. I feel like there's multiple people involved in this thing that you are hopeful for that will start. So I think that's why you kind of are juggling the idea, because you're thinking like, I don't want to be a second option. I want this person to only think about me. And I feel like Spirit is advising you that it's more important that you focus on yourself first before you jump into something new. Because I think that since you got rid of this toxic person, you're trying to get over them by possibly being with someone new. And I don't know if that's the right decision. It's more of an impulse decision for you. So I feel like Spirit is advising you to continue to be in your hermit mode, continue to contemplate, continue to think about what it is that you can do to better yourself and your higher self, rather than jumping into a relationship because it seems exciting. A lot of us do that, where we want to have a rebound person so that we stop thinking about our past person. And I feel like that's what you're kind of searching for when it comes to this new person. With this Knight of Swords here, Knight of Swords usually is about like action and, going for what it is that you want. And I feel like I said earlier, being with this new person could be like Spirit's advising not to do things on impulse, and to, take a step back and really think and evaluate what is best for you and what will help you in the long run. And I feel like, this past person or this toxic situation that you dealt with, you're learning how to let it go. And it was very burdensome to you. And that's another reason why it's so hard for you to let it go, because it was an intense connection, I feel. You could be dealing with a divine counterpart, or you could be dealing with a Leo. Let me grab some clarifications to get a better understanding on your situation. Yeah, I feel like Spirit is advising you to think before you make a decision. And Taurus are good at that. They're very good at, making the sound decision on, what is best for your overall well-being. So I don't think you're going to have an issue with that. It's just that you kind of are forgetting that that's who you are. You got the Six of Swords here. You got the Ace of Wands. I feel like the Ace of Wands is your energy. Ace of Wands is passionate new beginnings. perhaps there's a new hobby that you are starting to become passionate about, and perhaps this is, the universe trying to tell you to focus on that and to focus on things that you're passionate about again. Because I feel like with this past person, you kind of lost yourself, and you lost those important things that you were passionate about, because you allowed this person to control you in that way. We don't like to admit that, but that happens more often than we would like to admit. Okay, so you have the World, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, see, like I was just saying, you got 3 aces in your confirmation. There definitely is a brand new beginning that is happening for you. Whether that is you trying to, move up in your job or perhaps it's a project that you've been having on your mind, and you haven't had that push to start it yet. But I feel like with this confirmation with the Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, I feel like whatever it is that you do decide to do moving forward, you will be extremely successful at it. And I'm not just saying that to make you feel good and be hopeful. I really do see it in the cards here. Because, like I said, how you are putting in that inner work and being in that hermit mode, working within yourself, having that mental clarity, knowing, making logical decisions, and trying to, work on yourself rather than focusing on this past person. I feel like this past person, although they were toxic to you and although they treated you the way that they did, they also became a catalyst in this beginning that you are going to start. So, there's always something to be thankful for. We tend to, hate the people that have treated us unfairly, but it really does teach us a strong lesson in, our higher selves, and it allows us to ascend in ways that we wouldn't be able to if it didn't happen. So, you could be thankful in that way, even though it was toxic back then and it was hard for you to deal with. I understand that. But with the World in the middle of all these aces here, I see that things are going to go into your favor. It's just you have to be patient. Because I feel like with this Knight of Wands here, I feel like a certain aggression from you. Like you're angry that, things were unfair. But like I said, Spirit's reminding you to be thankful for. It's almost like a blessing in disguise. Like, I don't like to say things that are generic, but that's exactly what has happened to you in this situation. Okay, I'm gonna grab from the Oracle. This one is the Elemental deck, so let's see any advice that the universe has for you. Very strong reading so far, but let's see what they have for you. Okay, so you have richness, marine life, and then you have speaking your voice, speaking your word, voice. So this is a lot of Taurus energy here. I don't know if you could notice, but Taurus are they can indulge in, material things, whether that be, fancy food or high quality food or, looking good, working on yourself. Taurus are guilty for that. And I feel like with this marine life, that has a lot to do with understanding what you don't need in your life and what you do need in your life, and trying to stand from a more practical standpoint rather than trying to have it all. Because here I could see, every marine life is in this card. So, there's a saying that they say, access leads to excess. And when you have everything, you'll want even more. So I feel like with this, the universe is advising you to try to step back and see try to be a little more practical on what it is that you want out of life rather than trying to have everything. Because, let's say for someone that grew up and they came from a rich background. I'm not saying this is you, I'm just using this as an example. And that child, he grows up having everything that he needs. And, there's certain lessons that we learn when we are children, and if you struggle and you don't have much, you become a better person because of it. And I feel like that's kind of like the same message that the universe is advising you, is that, don't forget where you came from. Because I feel like you yourself have come from possibly humble backgrounds, and you kind of lost touch with that side of yourself. And the universe is reminding you to remember where you came from, and remember that, the only thing that you actually need in this world is yourself. And you don't need extra, and you don't need anything else to fill that void to make you happy. The only person that will make you happy is yourself. And I feel like with this speaking your word and voice, that's about you being your authentic self. And the universe is trying to remind you to not forget that side of yourself, to not lose touch with your authentic self. Because I feel like you are an authentic person. It's just that when you deal with toxic people like you did in the past with this past person, we kind of lose touch of that. And I feel like Spirit is reminding you to try to find that self again, that side of you again. Okay. That was a lot. Alright, let me ask from the oracle again, any final advice for you, for Taurus? Because I feel like you want answers to something, so let me see, pertaining your situation. Okay. You have in the near future. You have compromise and get more information. Yeah, so this is just confirmation of everything that I was just saying. It has a lot to do with you. I feel like you are a little impatient. And like I said earlier, how you wanted to get into this relationship with this new person fast. The universe or spirit is kind of guiding you to, get more information about what's going on. Slow down, try to compromise, and try to remember your authentic self and not lose touch with that. Because I feel like you kind of are in this fast forward movement where you want things to happen right away. But I feel like the universe is saying to slow down and to trust in the divine, that, what you want is coming. It's about patience. I hear patience. The word patience is really strong. So I feel like there's patience that is needed from you, and trust in the divine. And just know that if this person is meant for you, they will come to you naturally. Don't try to force it, is what I'm trying to say. But yes, so thank you for listening this far, and I hope that helped you.